Let's go now to our correspondent in Makurdi, Pius Angbo. He's standing by to give us some information concerning what to expect tomorrow. Pius. Pius.
Good morning, Chamberlain, and thank you for coming to me here. I'm standing at the Independent National Electoral Commission's office in Makurdi to discuss the reason why elections were declared inconclusive on the 11th of March after the elections are held on the 9th of March. Joining me this morning is a resident electoral commissioner to discuss these issues with the supplementary elections to take place tomorrow. Good morning for coming to the program.
Morning.
Okay. What exactly were the reasons why elections were declared inconclusive in Benue State following the conduct of elections on March the 9th?
Because of the cancellation that we had in some polling units, and we have some few areas that security challenge could not allow us to conduct election in the areas. There's some of 207 polling units all in all, and the total registered voters in these 207 polling units sums up to 121,299 registered voters, while the margin of lead between the two leading candidates is just 81,000 votes that were cast. And since the margin of lead is less than the total registered voters in those polling units, we have to give them the opportunity to also cast their vote based on Section 41 of electoral guideline that we have.
Okay, one of the contentions of the PDP was that over 60,000 votes, which Rule 41 of INEC guidelines says should not have been brought into the cancelled vote because of either election violence or voting without the use of card reader, were brought into the cancelled vote, giving the number, raising the number from that number to the 121,000, where they had 81,000 lead. What exactly is Rule 41 of INEC schedule with this claim by the PDP?
Rather, it's Rule 47 that specifies that. And, they made a mistake in their submission, because where you have overvoting, you don't actually cancel and proceed. Rather, when card reader is not used, that you enter 0 and proceed. In the case of the cancellation we made, it was rather that you have, card readers were used, but along the way, maybe by I don't know what happened. There was overvoting, and because there was overvoting, we cancel and give. We carry over the registered voters in that polling unit.
Okay. The APC in their agitation say that in Logo, for instance, and Guma local government, that 30,000 votes were returned for the PDP, 28,000 were returned for the PDP, and that they didn't use card readers there. What exactly is INEC position on this? Is there any truth in this allegation from the APC?
You were around when we were doing the collation, and all results were signed by their own, party agents at the polling unit and those at the collation centers from the RA to the local government. And there are procedures for submitting such claims. You don't come up after your party agents have, signed all the results of the election. Then you come up to the state and say lay claims, because smart card readers were used at the polling unit. It is claims it is at the RA level that complains about use of card reader normally submitted, and because it is at that point that normally the card reader is submitted to the collation officer, he checks the the accreditation vis-a-vis the vote cast and make sure they correlate before he will now enter the results. Where there's overvoting or no use of card reader, results are cancelled at that level. So submission were made, and nobody made any submission for non-use of card reader at that level. So we don't come and receive claims at that, at the state level for such, issues or incidents.
Can you talk to us about the credibility of tomorrow's supplementary elections in 204 polling units where over 109,000 registered voters are supposed to cast their vote, having collected their PVC?
Yeah, we don't have any issue for now because the materials are already in the local government. As you know, yesterday we moved the materials, and as it is now, security is being beefed up. Mark you, we had only instances, not at the voting centers, at the polling stations. Our problems were either materials being taken from the local government, from the racks to the polling unit, and then they're being hijacked, which was only one incident, 2 incidents, and then we had one incident that materials were burned, at a rack center, and then we had other issues at collation centers being obstructed. Now we've discovered that the key actors are more interested in collection centers results at collection centers being destroyed if it doesn't favor them. So we have beefed up security in those 2 areas so that before collation and before materials being moved to the polling units, we beef up security at those 2 lagging areas so that we can block them from having any kind of issues at those incidents around those 2 key areas.
Okay, let me find out. At what point is the security involved in the election at the polling units? Are we seeing them close to the ballot boxes? Are they staying far off? How and which security agencies are supposed to be within the polling unit?
At the polling unit is only unarmed security men that will be at the polling unit.
Which services?
All of them, from the police to the but non-military. Non-military. No military is supposed to be at the polling unit. It's only the police, the prison service, the road safety, the immigration, the custom, and civil defense are supposed to be unarmed at the polling unit. Any of their men that are armed should be outside should be at the outside cordon, which means that we can have them some distance away for security, but they will not be within the inner cordon where people are voting. So they will not scare the voters from having access to the voting points, and also they can vote without interference.
Is this strategy going to nip in the bud the fear by PDP that there's a federal might interest, and then the fear by the APC that there's a state might interest in influencing the outcome of the elections tomorrow? But
I keep on emphasizing that the only federal or state might that we have is the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That's the might that we have, and it's very explicit on how election can be conducted. So the issue of people expressing either state or federal might, you knew in the last election, the last 2 elections that we had, the issue of the federal state might never express itself in any form. So people keep on making those kind of, sentiment, race emotions. I think, the two political parties, key political parties are acting these scripts, are acting it to just impress their own supporters. But I think we shouldn't go just with the emotion of the political parties, but we should look at what happens on the field, which INEC has actually been very firm in ensuring that the Constitution holds supreme.
Okay. Is the army participating in this election tomorrow? Are we going to see them involved in this election tomorrow, and what's their role?
Their role is just utter cordon if if they're needed to provide, if there are attacks that require physical presence, then then maybe they can be invited. But the military are not directly involved in any form of security in this election.
Okay. What's in the finality of this? Assuming elections tomorrow in these supplementary elections again is inconclusive, what options does the INEC have? Because this election is dragging also for too long now.
We will go with the Constitution, the provision of the Constitution, Electoral Act, and the guideline, because these are the what actually holds supreme for us in INEC. We don't predetermine elections, but we allow the election to roll itself, and then the Constitution, Electoral Act, and the guideline hold supreme to guide us to the finality of the election.
Okay. Thank you for speaking to us.
Thank you.
You have heard from the resident electoral commissioner on preparations for the supplementary elections tomorrow in Benue State. There is adequate security, and we're hoping that elections will go on smoothly tomorrow.
Well, Pius, before you go, give us a mood in Benue right now.
Well, the mood in Benue is that the 2 leading political parties, that's the PDP and the APC, are in high spirit, all of them laying claim to victory tomorrow because of the margin of votes where elections will hold. 109,000 people have collected their PVC, and there is a lead margin between the PDP and the APC of 81,000. And so APC believe that a lot can still be done to sway the vote in their favor. However, the PDP believes that they are already in pole position. So everybody is high. As at yesterday, election materials were being monitored by the political parties and their agents from the central bank office here in Makurdi to the local government headquarters. I understand some of them kept vigil till this morning to move them to the ward level. That is how interested the people are at this time to protect the vote down to the polling unit and follow back with results to the ward collation center, to the local government, and back to the state headquarters, because these were the areas we had problems the last 2 weeks, and they said they are not going to take these chances this time around.